So it's Thursday morning, and I've been working on actually the '51 Chevy tailgate, finishing up the metal work. There was a ton to do on that, but anyway, I still got some ways to go. I'll show you where I'm at in a bit. Uh, Tuesday morning, I had a job interview, and this place is an industrial outfit. They make ventilation systems for mines and stuff like that. They're huge, huge fans that they build. Some of these things are 6, 8, 10 feet high. And the job was to sandblast and paint the components before they assemble them. I'm not too crazy about sandblasting, especially in the summertime, because it can be a miserable existence, man, in the heat. I've done it with a big industrial machine before a couple of times over the years, and yeah, it's not for me. But it was a job, and the problem is this place is like 40 minutes one way, a drive. So it's almost an hour and a half of driving every day. Not to mention the cost of fuel. I mean, up here, when you convert liters to gallons, we're paying about $7 a gallon. So it wouldn't be hard to go through like 120 bucks a week in gas. I mean, that's $3 an hour right there at a 40-hour week. So, I did the interview. It went well, but I wasn't very excited about it, and I wasn't sure if I was going to take it, even if I got it. Anyway, I get home after that interview, and there's an email from a guy who, a friend of the channel, a guy I know in town here. He said, there's a body shop. If you're still looking for a job, there's a body shop out your way that's looking for a guy. He's working it by himself right now. He needs a guy. He said, I was doing it, but I can't do it anymore. I had an accident or whatever. So yeah, so I got the address and the guy's number. I called him a couple times, no answer. So I sent him a text, and he got back to me. So I went and saw him yesterday, Wednesday, and spent about an hour and a half with him. And I start tomorrow. I could have started right away, actually, if I wanted to. So he needs a guy that could do a little bit of everything. The money is substantially better than what they were offering at this industrial place, and seems to be a little bit more flexible as far as hours and all that kind of stuff. He's got 2 bays to work in, and he's got a DeVilbiss downdraft spray booth, paint mixing room, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I start tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. Another bonus with this one, there's drawbacks to this one as well, but there's no benefit package or anything like that. But told me I could use the booth for my own stuff if I want. So that's a big deal for me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with the tailgate. And speaking of sandblasting, I think I have enough sand left in my little mini blaster to at least get the inside corners of the tailgate where I can't get in with a disc. Get at least that done, and maybe the outside of the letters portion where it's pretty pitted. So I'd like to get that blasted if I've got enough sand. But the inside corners are the main thing, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so here's where I'm at on this thing. I've welded all along this whole seam. These are 2 pieces of metal overlapping and spot welded from the top. The reason I'm sealing this up is what's in between these 2 layers of metal, right? There's probably rust and crap and all kinds of shit. So when you go to paint it after, this would be where it's going to fail. Along this joint here, the rust will spread out, it'll bubble, and eventually the paint will fail. So I figure if I was to seal it right up, it should last quite a bit longer. Now, there's also a bunch of areas like this where there's whole pieces that were burned away. It was tacked about every 8 inches or something, either bronze or steel welded or whatever. And some places they just burned right through. So there was a bunch of those. I filled those all in. So I've only got this little about 8 inches left to do. I'm going to get that. These are the corners I was talking about blasting, getting in here, because I can't get in here with the disc. There and there. And then I still got my patch to do with my piece of pipe. So get that in and then flip it around and do the whole top joint. I've done a good chunk of it already. Just got to clean them up. But yeah, tons of welding. And on top of that, I've got a hole right there, right by my R. So got to fill that in and then flip it over and go around the whole thing, check everything, make sure it's all welded up and good. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm just going to carry on with this stuff, and when I get close, I'll show you where we're at, and I'll dig out that blaster. Hopefully I've got enough sand. Okay, I know I've already shown this on the other end, but that was a while back, and for those of you who haven't, I'll show it again. What the hell? So what I have here, you can see it's all rotten. This is a piece of Harley exhaust. It's 1 3/4 outside. As you can see, it's the exact same diameter as the top roll. So I cut a notch out. Just going to cut this out here, and we'll fit it in place and weld her in, and that'll take care of all this smashed up rusty stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get after it. I think I'll mark a line first. And it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. You don't need to see that, just lazy grinder stuff. Okay, so before I do my finishing cut, I got to straighten this out because it's all bent to hell. So we're going to go I'd rather have it bent out this way. I can always tap it in after. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Make this notch a little bit deeper. There we go, that's better. Okay. Hey, not shabby at all. So I'll go ahead and weld that in, clean her up, call this corner done. All right, so she's all tacked in place, all the way around, fits nicely. It's good. So I'm gonna take a break from welding for a little bit because it's freaking hot. And I think what I'm gonna do is dig out my little blaster and see if I can't get these corners. Hopefully I've got enough sand in the thing. Yeah, I guess we'll see. So I'll set up somewhere out in the back here. There's no neighbors around and stuff, so it's a good time to be doing that. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna tackle first. I also filled in the hole by the R. So there's just maybe half of this top edge to weld in and flip it over and weld around the lettering again. I want to weld it on both sides. So yeah, it's all set up, and when I'm ready to start blasting, I'll come back. Okay, so I got my little blaster out the back here. Don't mind, there's going to be wind noise because it is windy as shit. We're getting almost 50-mile-an-hour wind, so you're going to hear some wind noise, but I can't do anything about that. So I'm just going to set up the camera and yeah, we'll blast away. I got to get a mask on here. This is why I don't like sandblasting. Anyway, I got the parts that I wanted to get. All right, like I said, the big deal for me was to get into these corners where I can't get in there with a disc, and got those. And I gave a little shot on the tough spots of the letters, you know, inside the R here and in here. Yeah, but I think the sand in that hopper is a little damp. It's clumping up. You notice me shaking the can all the time. It would come in spurts and farts and whatever. So yeah, I'd have been here all day doing a whole tailgate. But whatever. Need some fresh sand for that thing, I guess. And I think my air pressure was a bit low too. But anyhow, it's where I want it to be. So now I can finish up the welding, which there's still a fair amount. And you know, I got to get the other side too, clean all this up. So there's still a fair amount of work to do on this thing, but we'll get her. I'm just going to keep at her tonight. And we'll finish this thing up because it's the last piece that needs to be prepared for paint. Everything else is ready to go. So yeah, I can finish off the paint in the next few days as soon as I get this thing done. There's a fair amount of body filler work to do. That'll probably be in the next video. Alright, so there you go. I wasn't going to show this metal work on the tailgate because I've shown quite a bit of it already. But maybe some of you haven't seen it, and I can only show what I'm doing. So if I don't show you what I'm doing, then I don't put out any videos. So that's the way it is. So anyway, something a little bit different in there with the blasting and stuff. I think I need some fresh sand because that stuff is just like clumped right up, and kind of got to shake it apart to get it moving through the through the gun. But it works pretty good when it's fresh sand. For little stuff like that, it's good. You know, I think the biggest thing I've sandblasted with that thing was a truck box. So it'll do the job. You gotta have patience though. But you know, it was in my pockets, and I'm glad I had shaved my head because it was all over my head and in my hair. But it shook off pretty easy. Anyway, yeah, so if you like the content, please subscribe, and don't be shy, leave comments, tell your buddies, tell your chums, help spread the word. And if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.